Most discussions about masculinity are performance. Performance for women, performance for other men, performance for social media, performance for status. Strip all that away and something uncomfortable appears. A man is still a man even when nobody is watching. That's where most modern conversations become distorted. A lot of what people call masculinity is actually visibility, the expensive watch, the six-pack, the luxury car, the business title, the perfect beard, the broadcast quotes, the grind. None of those things are masculinity for me. They are signals. Yeah, signals can be useful, they can even be earned, but they are not the thing itself. A rich coward is still a coward, right? A muscular liar is still a liar. A famous weak man is still weak. A poor laborer who keeps his word may possess more masculine traits than all three combined. The problem is that performance is measurable, character is not. Social media can count followers, it cannot count self-control. People, can see your car, they cannot see whether you panic under pressure, right? People can see your physique, they cannot see whether you abandon responsibility when life becomes difficult. So modern culture naturally drifts toward what is visible. The camera cannot film integrity, it can only film appearances. A lot of men spend years building an image because building an image, Trump style, is easier than building a character. Character is like slow. Nobody uploads it. Nobody likes your post because you paid your debts on time. Nobody shares a clip because you stayed loyal during a difficult year. Nobody creates a highlight reel of you quietly taking care of your responsibilities. Yet those things have more impact on real life than most visible achievements. Without performance, masculinity becomes surprisingly boring. Adulthood is repetition. People hate hearing this because repetition is not glamorous, but societies, families, businesses, and institutions are built by people who repeatedly do necessary things, not by people who repeatedly talk about necessary things. A harsh reality many men discover after 30: nobody cares about your potential. Potential is a young man's currency. Results are an older man's currency. At 18, people ask, what could he become? But at 35, people ask, what has he actually become? So the world becomes less interested in your dreams and more interested in your reliability. Can you be trusted? Can you solve problems? Can you remain calm? Can you produce results? Those questions start replacing discussions about talent, and talent becomes not that important. Another uncomfortable truth: masculinity is not confidence. Many confident individuals are incompetent. Many quiet men are highly capable. Confidence is simply a feeling, but competence is reality. A man who can fix problems doesn't need to constantly, announce that he can. Reality speaks on his behalf. So the strongest men are often less dramatic than people expect. Drama consumes energy. Reality requires energy. One man spends 3 hours arguing online about discipline, another man that spends 3 hours working. The second man usually moves further, not because he's wiser, not because he's more motivated, because reality rewards action more than discussion. And perhaps the biggest misconception also about that topic is, thinking that masculinity is domination. Masculinity is not domination. History is full of powerful men who could dominate others but could not control themselves. Self-control is harder than control over others. Anyone can lose their temper, anyone can blame, anyone can react. The difficult part is restraint. The difficult part is remaining effective when angry, afraid, tired, disappointed, or humiliated. So when performance disappears, masculinity becomes less about impressing people and more about carrying weight. The weight of responsibility, the weight of consequences, the weight of difficult decisions, the weight of commitment made years ago. Not because carrying weight feels good. Often it doesn't, but because somebody has to carry it, right? And mature men eventually realize something simple. Life does not reward the loudest man, Life does not reward the most confident man. Life doesn't reward the most aesthetic man. Life tends to reward the man who remains useful, reliable, and stable for a very, very long time. So that reality is far less exciting than what social media sells, right? But it's much closer to what actually happens.